How's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the Movie Castle, and today we're going to be taking a look at American Psycho, the comic book, issue number 1. And yeah, American Psycho, the comic book. That's one of those things that I saw it on the store shelf. I didn't know it was coming out, but I just almost involuntarily went and grabbed it off the shelf and put it in my hand. A really fun, pleasant surprise to see this there. Now, it is actually an original story. It's not an adaptation of the movie. Thank goodness I'm not a huge fan of those. It's a follow-up. Basically, you get another serial killer, this one kind of like Patrick Bateman, but middle-class New York. He's stalking a woman when he suddenly finds out Patrick Bateman also wants that woman, and he'll become aware of another killer like himself. And then we get a flash forward to 2011, and somehow the events of back then are going to affect a future. It is interesting, and I really do like it's a good idea of, some other killer is out there that encounters Bateman. Obviously, I'll try to be vague when I say this, but the ending of American Psycho is super ambiguous, and a lot of people, there's a pretty common interpretation of that ending, and then there's a less common interpretation that keeps things more fun. That is probably not what they meant, but American Psycho 2 ran with this, and I guess this comic is too, but you kind of have to run with this interpretation if you want to tell more stories in that universe. I am curious, though, with the flash forward, and that's to 2011, not 2002, are they going to incorporate American Psycho 2 or not? I'm not sure, and I do want to say, bringing up 2, I know that that's a sore subject. This is better than that. It's not goofy. It has its own unique idea. Patrick Bateman, very much a loner. You don't know what happens yet, because this is just an introduction piece. But you do wonder what happens when he meets someone else of his kind. What happens when he meets another serial killer. And it's just set up for now. I don't know what's going to happen, but I am intrigued. It's not as perfect as the movie. And if you're a hardcore movie fan, doing anything else in this universe, yeah, that might irk you. But it's not American Psycho 2. It is an interesting story with, a setup that I think could be really cool, and I am really curious where it's going. So I'll definitely be picking up more of these, and I am really curious where it's going. Overall, it has me intrigued, and I want to know more. So I can recommend this. Anyway, to everyone who wants to see a little more, I'm going to switch to the close-up camera. I'll show you guys some of the story and some of the art. I'll be avoiding major spoilers, but without further ado, let's go ahead and switch to the close-up camera. Alright, here we are inside the castle, taking a closer look at the American Psycho comic issue number 1. This is the A cover, and a pretty cool portrait of Patrick Bateman with his axe there, mostly lost in shadow, and a pretty good likeness. Now, if we flip it to the back, we can see the back is mostly black, a quote from Bateman from the movie, and $4.99 cover A 00111, rated M for mature, and since this is American Psycho, yeah, that M rating is actually applicable. I did get a few finger smudges on the back. Sadly, not perfect ink on this cover. Might want to buy a reading copy and a saving copy. But we do get several variant covers here in this backsplash. So cool to see all these different covers, including a film still one. That's all pretty cool. Anyway, flip it to the front, and we get to see the credits for this book. Michael Calero is the writer, and Piotr Kowalski is the artist. Sadly, no credit to Bret Easton Ellis there, but whatever. Anyway, after that we get the story proper. Now, I'm not going to do any major spoilers, but I do want to show you guys a little bit of the story so you have a general idea what it's about, and also take a moment to analyze a few things. But yeah, No significant spoilers. Anyway, we get him and his breakfast, and we see how this is a similar but slightly different to Patrick Bateman's opening thing. And we see that this is the year 1987, and we're following a different killer, Donald Kimball. And he is kind of like Patrick Bateman, but we see that he is more middle class, and he just kind of wants to blend in. So we don't get a full character study on him, or at least not yet, but it is a crazy killer, but from a different social class, still in New York though. But anyway, we find out that he is stalking someone, a woman going on all these dates in New York, and he is of course obsessed with her, and we get him following her, and then she passes by this man at the ATM. And by the way, I didn't flip through this book before I read it, so this was generally just something that really perked up my interest in this a lot more. But yeah, Patrick Bateman does show up, and he picks up this girl, because of course he's Patrick Bateman. This is going to get this guy angry, because it's my girl, right? And he says, okay, they went up to the 11th floor. I'm going to go use my binoculars and spy on them to see what they're doing. And yeah, can't show any of that on YouTube. It does get a little explicit, but now we get another killer knowing that Patrick Bateman is active, and he's instantly curious about him. Now, obviously, as I said, can't show much of that, but we do get a bit of a twist towards the end of the book, where we do suddenly jump to a group of people in 2011 at a club, and there's a bit of drama amongst them. But yeah, we're suddenly jumping years into the future, and I am curious how the future is going to connect to the past and what actually happens. And yeah, I know there'll be some people who, because of what's revealed at the end of the original American Psycho movie, will start to question if any of this could happen. But, American Psycho 2 messed with that already. If that's whatever. We'll see what happens, and I am curious if they will reference American Psycho 2. But yeah, no, we have another killer recognizing Patrick Bateman, and this is going to cause something to happen in the future. I am really curious where this is going. It is cool to see someone else that's kind of like him, give him, I don't know, will they be friends or enemies or what? It's an interesting setup, and I hope it stays the course. Anyway, to everyone who's watched so far, thank you for watching. To everyone who's liked and subscribed, thank you. You really are helping the channel out. I'll leave a relevant playlist on the bottom. This should be my issue number 1's playlist, where you can see me talk about other first issues of other comic books. There's lots of stuff in there, and it's pretty fun. Anyway, have a good day. I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Relevant playlist on the bottom. Have a good day now.